Well, it's passive income, baby. Cashing in every single month. RivX automation, that's the way.
Let's talk about one of the ugliest passive income trucking schemes the industry has seen for a while, and how it finally came to an end. A federal court has permanently shut down Florida-based company called RivX after regulators accused it of scamming consumers out of millions of dollars with deceptive trucking investment promises. Now, if this case sounds familiar, it's probably because it does. This original scheme was brought to our attention here at Think Freight and the federal authorities sometime in 2024. We covered it in the Think Freight newsletter, but now that the whole investigation and the whole lawsuit is finalized, there are some real actions here from the federal government. And I wanted to talk about more of what the federal government is doing and how these kind of schemes kind of come about and why they sound so interesting. So this case was brought by the Federal Trade Commission along with the state of Florida, and it centers around RivX, marketed as a done-for-you trucking business. Now, you guys may remember some of this going around on TikTok and Instagram in 2021 through 2023, 2024, where you could invest into a trucking company and they would do everything for you as passive income.
Well, it's passive income, baby. Cashing in every single month.
Now, we'll dive more into the details here in just a second, but if you like videos just like this, don't forget to give us a like and a subscribe. Subscribing, make sure you stay up with the latest content that we put out there. And by giving us a like, it helps the algorithm know that you like our content and pushes it out to other individuals just like yourself who are looking for freight content just like this. So here's how it all worked. Well, at least on paper. RivX told customers if they paid roughly $75,000 or more, the company would purchase a semi-truck in the consumer's name and operate it on their behalf. RivX claimed it would handle everything, from buying the truck, hiring the drivers, booking the loads, and managing expenses. And the investor, well, they would just collect monthly passive income.
Well, it's passive income, baby. Cashing in every single month.
And they were pretty specific about those income claims. RivX advertised that investors could earn between $5,000 and $7,000 per month guaranteed. And that's just crazy, guys. What does this sound like to you? If you're out there screaming Ponzi scheme, that's exactly what's the first thing that comes into my head as well. The company also reportedly promised that investors would get all of their money back and more, often claiming that the entire trucking operation could be set up in as little as 60 days. Now, if a lot of you guys out there watching, you know how to set up a trucking company, you know how trucking works. You're not going to go out there, set up a brand new company, and then start making $5,000 to $7,000 a month in passive income. There's just no way that that can really be done. And obviously, according to the FTC, none of that was true. And that's something all of us who's watching this video right now, you all know, that wasn't true. And the FTC alleges that very few consumers ever received a truck at all, and that no consumer was ever able to recoup their investment, let alone make a profit. Instead, the FTC says RivX, its owner Antonio, and the company executive Noah Wooten pocketed millions of dollars while delivering almost none of what was promised. And their marketing campaigns, they were absolutely relentless. According to the complaint, RivX flooded social media with videos and content claiming that trucking was easy, automated, and guaranteed income. Watch some of these videos here.
First things first, we're gonna go ahead and get that semi-truck on the road as fast as possible. After that, we're gonna go ahead and make sure we get our A-class driver behind the wheel, plus all the certifications to make sure that truck is 100% credible. Number 3, we're gonna go ahead and make sure we begin to assign freight to that truck so it's delivering it all around the country. Then after that, every single week, you're gonna be receiving reports and payouts every single week. And finally, well, it's passive income, baby. Cashing in every single month. RivX automation, that's the way.
When customers reached out directly, those same income guarantees were repeated verbally and in writing. Some investors were even given documents that if their profits didn't materialize, RivX would refund their initial investment. And I'm sure you've guessed it correctly, that also never happened. The FTC also says that RivX used contracts designed to silence complaints. Some of the agreements reportedly included clauses that would fine customers up to $100,000 if they left a negative review or publicly criticized the company. And as the investigation unfolded, a federal court stepped in. In August of 2024, the court issued an order forcing RivX to cease operations and freezing the assets of the company and its leadership. That freeze covered RivX and several entities related to the operations. Then, in January of this year, 2026, we got a major update that the case had finally reached its final stages. The court granted default judgments against RivX and multiple affiliated companies and individuals, permanently banning them from engaging in any business or investment opportunity going forward. The court also entered a judgment of more than $8.3 million for consumer harm, and additional judgments were issued against companies and related entities that received funds traced back to the scheme. And one of the logistics companies even agreed to cooperate with authorities and assist in the sale of trucks tied to the case. The FTC charged RivX and its operators with violating multiple laws, including the FTC Act, the Business Opportunity Act, the Consumer Fairness Review Fairness Act, and Florida's Deceptive Trade Practices statute. Now, from a trucking perspective, this case hits on something very important. Every market downturn, every freight recession, and even the highs of the gold mine, schemes like these pop up. They continuously promise easy money, hands-off ownership, and guaranteed returns in an industry that doesn't work that way. As everyone here knows, running a trucking company requires active management, risk, and real operational oversight. Anyone promising mailbox money and guaranteed returns should be an immediate red flag. And unfortunately, in this case, the FTC and regulators say that consumers didn't just lose money. Many of them lost their entire life savings. I'm really happy about this shutdown, and this really sends a clear message that the federal government is paying closer attention to these trucking automation schemes and being more active on social media and checking out what's going on in these fraud schemes. Because over the last couple of years, probably dating back to COVID, so 6 years now, we've seen a lot of these trucking gurus and Instagram guys coming up through TikTok, Instagram, even platforms like YouTube, who are promising guaranteed returns, just like what RivX was doing, or saying how trucking can be passive income.
Well, it's passive income, baby. Cashing in every single month.
Or different ways. I've seen this in the box truck and expedited side a lot lately too, is people saying, hey, this is a very easy industry. You can make a lot of money. You can do this, make $2,000 a day, be your own boss. And you don't really, it's just not how this industry works. There's so much that goes into the ins and outs, and also just understanding this industry. It's not just an industry that someone can dive into with absolutely no experience. And that's really who RivX and these schemes prey on, is people who want a get-rich-quick scheme, people who have a little bit of money, who've been saving, and maybe to start a business, to start a family, to buy a house, and they say, hey, maybe if I can turn this $50,000, $75,000 into $150,000 or $500,000 or $1 million, myself and my family would be set up in a much better position. So these schemes prey on people who are looking for those opportunities and those avenues. So for anyone watching and who's been, pinched or been involved in a similar situation, the lesson is honestly simple. If it sounds too easy, it probably isn't trucking. Now, if you guys like crazy, insane freight stories just as much as I do, you don't want to miss the video we put out a couple of days ago talking about the collapse of R&R company of families and what former employees are alleging happened behind the scenes. Check it out here.